it's me, Eloise, and today's video is brought to you by the letter R for routine. Good news, everyone! I'm writing again. As I mentioned in my last video, working on book 2 for Legend of the Amazons ground to a halt in about mid-July. Oh god, it's already halfway through October. Oh no. Nope. Not today. Not having an existential crisis today. Too much to do. Moving on. The reason for my recent success has all been thanks to my new writing routine, which I want to share with you today. But first, what is a writing routine and why is it important? A writing routine is essential because it builds consistency, discipline, and momentum. By setting aside regular time for writing, you create a habit that helps you make steady progress, even on days when you're not feeling inspired. It also helps reduce procrastination and takes large projects to reduce them down to smaller, more achievable tasks. Over time, a routine helps you stay focused on your goals and improve your writing skills through regular practice. Awesome, great, love it. But what happens if you're, I don't know, a full-time working mom who hardly has time throughout the day to do all of her obligatory tasks, let alone do anything creative or for herself? And then at the end of the day, you're so tired that you don't have the energy to do anything other than zone out. 3 words for you. 5 a.m. Writers Club. At least I think it's 3 words. It might be 4. Is 5 an a.m. 1 word or 2? Whatever the case, yes, you heard me right. But don't get me wrong, this isn't a new concept. The 5 a.m. Writers Club is a well-established community who dedicate themselves to writing early in the morning and use the hashtag 5 a.m. Writers Club to hold each other accountable, share their progress, motivate one another, and celebrate their successes. So why did I decide to start writing early in the morning? Why did it take me so long to establish this routine, and how has it been working for me so far? Let's get into it. Recent changes to my husband's work schedule has required him to start getting up at 3:30 in the morning. Yep, that felt as gross to say as it was to hear. Our son doesn't wake up until 7, so in the past, when Mr. Eloise would wake up for work, I would throw a pillow over my head and block out the light and the noise until he left, and then sleep in until he woke up. It didn't occur to me until recently to try to experiment with waking up with my husband. So why hadn't I tried this before? Well, the idea sounds horrendous. The only time I'd willingly woke up that early was to go on a trip. The last time I had to get up before 5 on a regular basis was for a job I had in downtown Seattle that required a 2-hour commute. At some point in my career, I vowed to never be in a position of having to wake up that early ever again. So why am I breaking such a solemn vow? The key word is have, as in to be under necessary obligation. This morning, I woke up at 3:30, not because I would be late for work and penalized if I didn't. I woke up that early because I wanted to, which I realize doesn't make me sound any less crazy. But the fact that I was doing it for myself as opposed to anyone else makes all the difference. That and going to bed at 8:30 the night before. With this new routine, I've not only written more in the last week than I have in the last 3 months, but I've achieved a number of my other goals as well. Before this experiment, my average day looked something like this. I'd roll out of bed between 7 and 7:30 to get myself and my son ready for the day and do some work before I had to take kiddo to school. I'd be back by 9 to work until school was over. If I'm lucky, I get work done around 2 p.m. and I have an hour to do chores around the house, like laundry, cleaning, dishes, etc. Then it's after school activities, going on errands, or just hanging out with my son before I have to get dinner ready. After dinner, it's either family time or doing some more chores until it's time to get my son ready for bed around 7:30 for an 8 o'clock bedtime. My husband would then go to sleep between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, and I would end up staying up until 11, even midnight, just zoning out. And then I'd try to fall asleep between the bouts of my husband's snoring. Now the alarm goes off at 3:30 and I lay in bed for about an hour, mentally waking up and taking some time to think about what scene I want to write that day. At 4:30, I go downstairs, start my coffee machine, and toss a throw blanket in the dryer to make sure it's warm and toasty. On good days, I have a solid 2 hours to write, and I can write over 1,000 words in that time. On other days, my son might wake up early and I only get an hour or an hour and a half in. Either way, it's more time and words than I had before. So not only am I writing more, I'm reading more, I'm spending less time scrolling on social media, I am staying on top of all of my chores, and I have time to actually make content for said social media that I'm actually being active on in the way that will help my author career as opposed to just suck up all of my valuable time. I've also been doing better with self-care and eating better, since I'm actually hungry by the time it's breakfast as opposed to realizing that it's noon and I haven't eaten yet for the day. And by going to bed at the same time as my husband, I avoid the worst of the snoring and am able to fall asleep faster. I get the same amount of sleep, but it's just been shifted. Overall, it's been great. That being said, I want to reiterate my emphasis on have. There have been days that I didn't sleep well and I didn't feel like waking up at 3:30 along with my husband, so I mumble something as I throw the pillow over my head and kind of do the old routine. But the most important part about that is I don't feel guilty, and that's the key. I've been striving to do things more for the joy of it, as opposed to the fear of disappointing others or a sense of obligation. Giving myself grace to take a day off from writing is what keeps me from resenting those early mornings. I'd never thought that I would be part of the 5 a.m. Writers Club. And while it's been a fabulous improvement for me, I know that an early morning routine isn't for everyone. While I'm not a natural night owl like some people, up until recently, the season of my life wouldn't have allowed for me to have such a routine. So I wanted to share this revelation with you, not because I think everyone should be waking up at the butt crack of dawn to write, but because if you're struggling to meet your goals, I implore you to examine your way of thinking in order to remove mental roadblocks that are standing in the way from you reaching those achievements. Your path to success is as unique as you are. If you aren't where you want to be, please give yourself grace. Everyone progresses at their own pace, and you are not alone. You're doing great. And I know one day someone as committed to their dreams as you are will achieve them. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. You're one of my favorite people. Staying on the topic of routines, what time do you like to write? Do you have a writing routine? Let me know in the comments down below so we can learn from each other. And if you like these kinds of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so you don't miss my next upload. That's all I have for you this week. Until next time, take care. Bye.
Do you like writing? Yes, I like writing. Do you like mythology? Yes, I like mythology. Do you like my videos? Yes, I like your videos. Then what are you waiting for? Subscribe.